Okay, so welcome back. Let's talk about the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show and who should be performing. It's been speculated or announced that the next year's Super Bowl will be in New Orleans, so I think it's pretty obvious where they should go. Who knows if, the plan is them really wanting a Taylor Swift halftime show. I still can't picture it or imagine what that would look like and how that would work. But for the halftime show to be in New Orleans, it makes it, one obvious choice of being Lil Wayne. Um, and, as I'm looking through Lil Wayne's catalog and then connecting the dots, the amount of features and songs that can appear at a Lil Wayne halftime performance makes it sound even more exciting than anybody else. I'm not the biggest Lil Wayne fan, but to think about Young Money, Cash Money reunion, plus Lil Wayne, plus all the featured artists that Lil Wayne's catalog encompasses, puts together a show itself without even diving into what songs should appear. A Millie definitely, Juvenile. If we get the Cash Money reunion, back that ass up would just go at a Super Bowl. The big timers, Still Fly. Any of those records from that era will work. Again, Lil Wayne has a catalog, so without even adding the features in, him alone is enough. And then you throw in the Young Money of it all, Drake, Nicki Minaj, Tyga, any of those records that came out of the Young Money album still works. So it'll be interesting to see a New Orleans halftime show that focuses on artists from New Orleans. Um, and if we're gonna throw in, like, we're gonna actually showcase New Orleans in New Orleans during a halftime show, let's throw Don Richard in there for national anthem, the Black national anthem, something that's during the pre-show. If we're gonna do not such a hip hop heavy halftime show, my bias would be Dirty Money, but we ain't gonna get it. We ain't gonna get it. Nah, if we did a highlighting some New Orleans artists, there are so many New Orleans artists that could encompass what the halftime show should be. So again, the performance is writing itself. I see a lot of talk about there being a question around when does Chris Brown get his halftime performance, and when you see the response of Usher's halftime show and it being one of the most watched, second to Michael's performance, I do see an argument for why are we not seeing Chris Brown's name in the conversation. Um, I do feel like a Super Bowl halftime show would be like the next obvious thing if we're going to continue this trend of who has the biggest catalog to do this performance. Yes, Chris Brown has like 1,000 songs, probably more than 1,000 songs. Chris Brown has a catalog. What is this? His 11th album, 1111, is out right now. So the hard part would be narrowing it down to what, 10 to 15 songs. And in comparison to Usher, we would get something like 10 seconds to 30 seconds of a lot of his biggest hits, which this is the stage for it. This could also be a chance to also highlight his, tribute to Michael Jackson that we have not seen, and a lot of the influences that Michael Jackson has given. So bringing that to a Super Bowl stage would also be exciting. It's a no-brainer. I don't know why we would have to wait 10, 15 years, 5 years, or for Chris Brown to be a legacy act, as I've seen some people say, as well as for him to not be as active as he currently is, which I don't know why we give this level of pushback when it comes to Chris Brown in the conversation, but this is what we have, and this is where we are. But hey, I will be here for a Chris Brown halftime show, and then the no-brainer would be a redo for Janet Jackson. Every year we're gonna say this. Every year there's gonna be a Janet Jackson Appreciation Day until they make that right, apparently. So why not another Janet Jackson halftime performance? And this time it would not feature, as much backlash as it gotten, because now it's like turn on TV and you see titties and it's not a big deal. But back then it was such a big deal. 20 years ago, actually, such a big deal to see a titty on TV. So but again, that's a whole conversation to dive into. I'm sure I'll dive into it when I talk about albums that are turning 20, and when I touch on Janet's Damita Joe album, which turns 20. So again, there are obvious choices to go with if we're gonna get a New Orleans Super Bowl. So hopefully we make the right choice. But if we're gonna cater to, we've had too many R&B, hip hop heavy performances, and we need to lean more into pop. Yeah, y'all know who the picks are that they're pushing. Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, I guess. I don't know. Whatever they decide to do, it will be cool to see. I know that much. And again, the Taylor Swift conversation of it all. She's already at the height. If we're going to use the same logic as she's too active, as we're saying for Chris Brown, do we really need a Taylor Swift halftime show? Like, what will she benefit from it? Her albums are already number one. She's already re-recording and re-releasing projects that are also still charting to this day. So like a halftime performance is not shining a light on music that's already being pushed to the forefront. So what would the benefit be for a Taylor Swift halftime show? Besides the fact that they want to pan to her every, so often at the Super Bowl or at the football games now because she's dating Travis Kelce. So who knows? Let me know what y'all think. Who do y'all think should do the halftime show? Who is the most likely artist to be at the forefront of the conversation? And who has the catalog to don the stage and give us a performance on the level that Usher just gave us? Chime in the chat below. Let me know your thoughts. Like the video if you like what I'm talking about. Subscribe to the channel for more, because we got some more stuff on the way, some more mixes. Hopefully I get to actually releasing some of my own music soon, and we're on our way to YouTube partnership, so definitely want to obtain that so I could push out more of the content that I've been producing for these past 10 years, not only for YouTube but with ELSV, which started as a magazine, turned into this creative outlet where we have art, we have our photography, videography work that we're doing, we have the magazine, I said, and so many other things. Check it out, ELSV.net. for more. And until the next video, I'll catch y'all. This video is brought to you by ELSV, of course, because that's the brand, and that's the brand that's paying the bills, and that's the brand that we created, and it's for us and it's by us. So check out ELSV.net for more. We got